Okay. I am Haley. I am talking. Great. Edward, can I hear you?
I miss my son. I wish my son called more. My son is out of town a lot.
Great. Sounds great. Hey guys, and welcome to The Meet Cute, the podcast where we talk about all things romantic comedy, but mostly the bad ones. I'm Haley.
I'm Zach.
I'm Edward.
Oh boy, and we are here in the Meet Cute studio, and by studio, as always, we mean our little apartment, and we have sitting across from us, oh, you know him, you love him, he's a talent manager at Baker Talent, is that it? Did I get it right?
That's exactly
Oh, I did it. He's also been my friend since we were tiny little babies doing theater and tap shoes. We got
so
Robert Graham here.
Hello.
Robert, say hi.
Hello, everyone. So happy to be here with the Meet Cute cast.
Oh,
my
we're
goodness,
here.
what a sensation you all are.
That's one word
Wow.
for it. Not the one anyone else would pick, but thank you.
You know, I know that we joke around a lot on this podcast, but you have no idea how much I needed that.
I'm so glad it's true. You are a sensation.
We are a
man.
sensation.
Rocking the nation, I'll say.
Oh, thank you. Robert, thank you so much for being here. Let's talk.
Sure.
What is your relationship with rom-coms? Do you like them? Do you not like them? How do you enjoy them?
I do love them. I have to say, my favorite rom-coms are, in this order, Along Came Polly.
Okay.
Great. Very funny. Jennifer Aniston. Can't go wrong. 50 First Dates. Timeless. How can you get sick of that movie?
We keep talking, because I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
No.
we have not seen either of those. I have seen 50 First
I've seen
Dates.
50
Zach
First
has,
Dates.
but Edward hasn't, and we keep
my.
meaning to watch it as a podcast, and the more and more guests we have, the more people bring it up. So it's going to happen
Right.
soon.
Well, please invite me back for that one, because that's an oldie but a goodie.
Let's
Yes.
bring back everyone who has asked us to watch 50
It's
First
all
Dates.
just people screaming.
Yeah.
You're like, she paints him like an egg?
What?
Each person has many opinions on that. Sure.
Okay. What else?
Does Erin Brockovich count?
I don't know.
I would say it's a pretty terrific rom-com. There's romance and there's comedy.
If you're in love with the law.
And I am. Indeed.
You heard it here. He's a man of the law. Oh, any particularly bad ones that you can't help but love?
Oh my God, Haley! Yes, we watched it together a few years ago.
What?
Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, but it's beastly.
Thank you, Beastly.
Now,
yes.
is that a rom-com
Wait,
or is it just terrible?
Wasn't that a show, or is Beastly different? Wait, did one have Vanessa Hudgens?
Oh,
Yes.
the one had Vanessa Hudgens.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it was Vanessa Hudgens.
Beastly.
It was Ashley Olsen, Mary-Kate Olsen. One of them. They put on the spell.
Or Elizabeth Olsen?
That's right.
No, it wasn't Elizabeth
She was
Olsen.
not yet famous.
It was
Okay.
a twin. It was probably Mary-Kate because I think Ashley went goodbye first.
Yeah, I'd say you're right.
But is that a rom-com or is it like a teen romance? Like dark?
I don't know. I never saw it.
Well, I guess the comedy was coming from us really laughing
Yes,
at the bad
yes.
material.
It was a romance of idiotic proportions, and
Yes.
we just chuckled away and made it a rom-com.
I'd say. And, I really enjoy Helen Hunt. I think she can. And by Helen Hunt, I don't mean Helen Hunt.
What do you
I
mean?
mean... Oh, what's Goldie Hawn's daughter's name?
Kate Hudson?
Kate
Oh,
Hudson.
Kate Hudson.
Helen Hunt
Helen
is
Hudson.
Helen
probably
Hunt
the
is-
same age
is
as Goldie Hawn.
Yes, certainly not the same person. I mean, Fool's Gold.
Fool's
Yes.
Gold.
How
We
to Lose
had
a Guy. She
Oh,
loses
man.
that Matt McConaughey, doesn't she?
We had Lindsay O'Donnell on as our guest for that episode.
For Fool's Gold.
It was such a treat.
Bless her.
Oh, it sure was. Well, because I don't know if you actually listened to the Lindsay episode, but I do reveal in the episode that I saw Fool's Gold in theaters with her the day my grandfather died.
Oh my God.
So that movie holds a weird place in my heart.
How very appropriately dark.
You know what would make me happy to see an awful film?
I'll say. Don't they go underwater and do a whole lot of mischievous activious?
Oh, they sure do, Robert.
Yeah.
They do. They get in some
Nothing
wacky
says
shenanigans.
R.I.P. Grandpa like scuba diving. So
And Misadventures of Matt McConaughey.
yeah.
Well, I think didn't he die by trying to find treasure in the Hudson River?
My grandfather?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Legendarily, yes.
Okay, so
great,
you were
great.
honoring him.
Good for
Yes.
him.
Legendarily.
Yeah,
They got caught
He
in
had a
that
good life.
crevasse. and
Not just old age.
Yeah. Honestly, this is going to be controversial. Dying of old age, very, very not in.
Oof, no.
Boring.
I'm over it.
Highly overrated.
And nobody's talking about it.
Look,
how
these are
exactly
the
is it that
issues.
you want to go, Zach?
I don't have everything mapped out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
That's something more exciting.
I'm not a mom on vacation, but I don't want to die of old age.
Ooh, I hope I get murdered and they leave you notes. You have to figure out who did it.
No, fuck you. I don't want that.
That would
That's
be
work for
exciting. I mean, unless it took more than like a couple days because we have to get back to work.
Okay, do you know how many times that I've forgotten the combination to my gym lock, so just bought a new one? I would never be able to find the
Who wants
killer.
to solve riddles for not fun?
Yeah. And what's at the end? It's like Haley's still dead. So. Congrats.
True. That's the real tragedy.
Yeah, it would be a quick nah for me.
He keeps mailing toes. You're like, I don't need these.
Too hard.
She's already dead anyway.
Yeah, just live with the memories, I guess.
I feel like I put that into the universe, and now I have to be like, I don't really want to be murdered. You know,
Yes.
like because you put something in the universe, apparently it
There's
might
like a crazy
happen.
fan who's like, oh, she wants to be murdered.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, luckily we only have 4 we can narrow it down to, so it's fine.
And one of
We have
them's
the-
on the show right now. So.
We have like a reoccurring fan in Spain. Maybe it's him.
aw.
Who? What?
I don't know.
What's his name?
I don't know. The internet doesn't let us access their name.
Oh, that's a shame.
Who's the president of Spain?
I don't know.
It's probably them.
It's probably them.
So
El Presidente.
sorry guys. Okay. So we watched boy oh boy, a hoot of a movie. Recommended to us insistently, just so
Once or
often.
twice.
Yeah, only like twice.
Too much. Too many
Persistently.
times.
No, it was really only twice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm making you out to be like a big old nag, Christine Cat. You know what? No, thank you for requesting this film. This is 2004's First Daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, baby.
It was eye-opening.
It sure was. We all sat down separately and watched or rewatched this movie. And boy, oh boy, we got stuff to say.
Oh, boy.
I think first things first, though. Haley, hit him with that little plot summary.
Okay, so this movie was directed by boy, oh boy, Forest Whitaker.
Saw Gerrera
Oh, my.
himself.
And we have stuff to say about that, but we're going to hold on to it. We're going to hold on to that tight. This movie stars Katie Holmes and basically no one else besides Michael Keaton, right?
Don't say it like that.
Margaret Collin.
This movie stars Michael Keaton. Katie Holmes is in it.
Yes,
Yeah, she is the titular role, but
He's the-
brings it home.
it does.
So let's just piece together this movie, get a little summary going for the people. Yes?
Please.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay, let's do this. So, we got Samantha Mackenzie. She is the first daughter of the United States. And who's the president? Michael Keaton.
Birdman.
Yeah.
Birdman
Vulture.
himself.
Batman.
Beetlejuice.
Birdman,
Oh,
the
man.
guy from Spider-Man. What's he in? Spider-Man?
The Vulture.
The Vulture.
A lot of bird.
A lot of bird.
A lot of
He's-
bird and flying things.
Actual
really.
bird.
Yeah.
Michael
Honestly,
Keaton.
it was refreshing to see him on the ground for a film.
Stop flying.
So Samantha Mackenzie, she's going to college, and she's going to college in California. She wants to get away from the White House. She wants a normal life. But the thing is, she can't have a normal life. Okay, she's got Secret Service agents following her
Her
all
dad's
around.
president.
Her dad's the president of the United
Of the
States.
United States.
She just wants a normal life.
And also,
wants
it's an
it.
election year.
Oh,
Oy
gee.
vey.
That's
Boy,
a
oh
lot of
boy.
things.
So she's got to be on her best behavior, and she just wants to be a normal girl. So she gets this roommate. Her name is Mia. Oh, God, we'll talk about her
Boy,
later.
Mia.
She's wonderful.
She's so
something.
nice.
Yeah, Mia is like immediately like, I don't know about this, but then they hit it off. And speaking of hit it off,
Ooh.
Samantha meets her RA who's named James, and they fall into a quick romance. He
Ooh.
sneaks her out of the dorm all the time. They go on adventures. They go
So
see,
she can hide from the Secret
Yeah, she can
Service
have a
and the
normal life.
paparazzi.
Yeah.
She goes and sees movies, and that's the only one I can remember that they do.
They
it was
eat
pivotal.
outside.
Talk a lot.
Yeah.
They go to
Yeah.
carnivals.
They do.
And this one day, she's like, you know what? I love my terrible roommate Mia and my barely there boyfriend so much. I'm going to sneak them on to Air Force One. Come with me. And they go to this big old dance. It's really kind of unspecified, right?
Some kind of
ball.
benefit.
Yes, it's a
yeah,
ball.
I
Yes.
guess.
Yes, and she...
Was there a Christmas theme at this ball?
No, because that comes later
That's
in the movie.
okay. That's the last one.
At first, I
Yes.
thought it was
There's a
the
lot
Met.
of balls.
A lot of balls.
At first, I thought it was the Met Gala, and I was like, "What a weird thing to just throw on them."
Zach,
Yeah.
do you know where the Met Gala is?
New York City.
Don't they fly
Yes,
to New
but
York?
where? In...
The Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Yes, so you thought they were in a museum?
Well,
Well,
the
yeah.
set from I don't know. This movie did no
They walked
research.
in and there was like a
so-
ballroom.
Yeah, there's like a big. Yeah, you can make it look like a ballroom.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a big empty space that they put
So
art in.
wait, I'm sorry, I have to stop and talk about this. Do you know why they do the Met Gala?
Anna Wintour likes to unveil her new line every year.
It's not her new line. It's like an exhibit that admires something in fashion history, which is why they dress in a theme every year.
We've all seen Ocean's 8.
All right. Well, then I'm wrong. For
So
once.
if they were at the Met Gala, they'd be wearing something like themed.
All right.
This movie did no research, so who's to say? Maybe this was the Met.
I'm just saying. At first, I thought like, oh, maybe she's taking them to something really wild, like the Met Gala. But
Yeah,
it was
that would
just
have been cooler than this.
some other
Yeah.
political ball.
This
boring
night seemed
thing.
very boring.
Yes,
Yeah.
a boring drab
There
night.
was no food.
No.
So now
Yeah.
do we talk about the twist in this plot?
I guess
Yeah,
we were
the
at
twist was great.
The titular twist.
The titular twist. Yes, this movie's called The Twist.
The first daughter twist.
Anyway, so they're at this ball, and James seems a little uncomfortable, and I'm like, whoa, she did just do a big weird old surprise and was like, you're not my boyfriend, but come meet my parents. And we were like, uh-oh, he's gonna ditch. We're gonna see what happens.
Something's
Uh-oh.
happening.
But instead, he has a good time. They're dancing, and then there's a threat on the first daughter.
Yeah, like
boom,
a
boom, boom,
shots run
gunshots.
out.
And he picks her up, and I go, when this is happening, I go, that's weird. Why is he picking her up? She can run.
Yeah.
And then he throws her in a car and then pulls out a walkie-talkie and is like, eagles in the nest, safe.
What was her name? What was her call?
Code
Was it
name?
Jewel? Was she a Jewel?
No, it was more specific, and I cannot
That's
remember.
very specific.
Robin.
Oh,
Bird.
gosh.
Junebug?
Maybe.
It wasn't
It was
Junebug.
something. It was something weird like that.
Tortellini?
Yeah.
Oh, Lucky Charm.
Starburst?
Lucky
Charm.
Charm.
Oh,
It's like
good
Lucky
one,
Charm
Zach.
secure.
Yeah.
He was a Secret Servant agent.
Oh,
Secret
God.
Servant.
Secret
The
servant agent.
audacity of him.
He was a Secret Service agent.
My jaw dropped.
Yeah.
It was a
I
great
wasn't
twist.
yeah.
expecting it.
That was a
Yeah.
nice twist.
I was in silence. So then she's just horrified and then has to deal with the rest of her college. And she didn't want to get him fired, so he's still her Secret Service agent at college. And
But she's
But
upset
she-
that he lied to her, so she's
Yeah.
trying to make him jelly.
She takes a turn for the worst, I'll say.
ooh,
There
she's-
is a honky tonk bar that comes up, if I remember correctly.
yeah.
Yes, there is, and she's dancing on the table in her blonde wig and
There's
her
a
slutty
hat.
boots.
There's a hat.
So there's a hat.
There's always a hat.
Oh, there's a
Sad
hat. And the paparazzi catch her doing a sexy slutty dance, but not only that, James carries her out of the bar. He's like, "You're wasted," blah blah blah. And the paparazzi are like, "Secret Service agent boyfriend and president's daughter. Uh-oh, the scandal of the year."
I'll say.
And then mom comes to college and is like, "You're leaving college and joining us on the campaign trail. This is your father's time. You bitch."
Like
Pretty
fair.
much.
But
Basically.
yeah, no, go,
Yeah.
go, and so she does, and then
And then so she does.
like no montage happens, but
No.
quick cut to him being elected
He
president.
certainly wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no
Yeah.
time
There's
wasted.
No time wasted.
no time
They
wasted.
did a great job. They campaigned real hard.
And what was cool about it was that it's the same year that George Bush won his second term. So I was like, oh, that's like
yes.
I
fun.
have some questions about this. that
Oh,
we'll talk about
About Bush's
No,
Bush
about-
v. Kerry in 2004.
about Bush v. Kerry. Yeah. Taking a poll. No, just about this universe that we live in. But we'll talk about this after the plot.
So, I guess James had lost his job because, he did a bad thing.
Yes.
For a Secret Service agent, he did a bad thing and fell in love with the subject. Not the subject.
Classic.
That sounds
The
like
Lucky
he's in
Charm.
No,
the lucky.
no.
He fell in love with the Lucky Charm, and who wouldn't? It's Katie Holmes doing minimal acting.
Oh, she's stunning.
She's stunning. And she's like, "I'm worried about him," and he's like, "Okay, I'll give him his job back."
Him being the
James,
president.
the president's like, "You can have your job back, James, but be my security guard."
Very creepy.
Yeah.
And they meet at a dance, and he's like, dance? And she's like, we can't. And I'm like, dude, the president,
Your
the
dad
literal
just
president.
gave you permission.
Yeah, he's right there and is like 2 thumbs up. Just
Literally nods.
dance.
It's a very big nod.
And they dance, and then
She goes back to college. She's back in college, but he gives her a beat up old Volkswagen so she can go be a normal college student.
God, had you ever seen someone smile so brightly? And that's saying something for Katie Holmes.
Yeah, right.
When she gets into that bug, that ugly green bug, with nothing else. I mean, she just drove off into the night with her dress.
I
Who knew
assume,
if she had a change of
probably,
clothes?
right, yeah.
I assume it's winter break, and she's got a few weeks till she has to be back.
But the most important part was I noticed that the cooler was placed, and if we remembered from the beginning, there was the bologna sandwich and the cold beer. So we know she did not go hungry nor thirsty.
Maybe shouldn't have been driving.
No,
She
But
just wants to
that's-
be a normal girl.
But that's for the
forbid.
sequel.
I like to imagine her with no things, just pulling up in California with her fucking gown.
her ball
Being like,
gown.
I'm ready for college again.
Spring semester, here I come.
and that's first daughter.
Oh, yeah.
So, any big things you guys want to talk about? Mine is the opening frame, which reads, a Forest Whitaker film.
Yeah, that's the elephant in the room, I'll say.
We got to get, that blew my mind. I didn't know he ever directed anything, let alone...
Did he produce this? Is this his passion project? Do we know?
I don't.
Because I hope so.
He did not produce it.
I read that there was a lot of intent to do a fairy tale theme, so that's why we had that wonderful introduction of her on the swings and, traipsing through the grass, a la a young princess looking for her way out.
And there was like the
theme wasn't-
narrator.
Yes, but
Yeah.
Well, I think
And
it was
it's-
Forest Whitaker.
It was. It said so.
it was no
Anthony.
Anthony Hopkins, that's for sure. And I didn't, or Julie Andrews. So
Yeah.
the theme
Weird.
didn't quite pan out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And like they called her a princess every now and then, and like they'd be like, "No, you can't. You're a princess." I was like, "No, you're not."
No, she
But,
definitely not.
That's the thing, because it's, I don't know, they're trying to do an American thing. But she was like, I've never been normal. This has been my entire life. It hasn't. It
No.
started in the year 2000, which
Yes.
was 4 years ago.
Yes.
Like, you grew up in a normal world.
And she very much said, "Oh, and I turned into a teenager. Oh, and LOL, my dad was elected president." And it was like, so you were 13.
Right.
Yeah.
So you had
Yeah.
12 normal years before
Right.
that.
You grew up in a normal house.
Right.
Yeah.
And by
Not the
normal,
White
we
House.
mean like wealthy.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Like privileged.
Yeah.
Well, but not royal.
No,
He
not-
would have
yeah, yeah,
been
yeah.
like a senator.
Not
or,
like
or
no-
Like the American nobility, but not the royalty.
Sure, sure.
Not like no privacy, no life, just like a blessed life.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
But it's not enough to be like, ugh, I've always been this famous, and like I've always been hiding from
Yeah.
the
Nobody's
spotlight.
talking about like the senator's daughter.
Right, yeah. The second daughter.
Which senator? There's like a billion of them.
That's like
exactly.
Take your pick.
Also, there's one point in the beginning where in that montage where someone delivers. I think it was.
He wants you to shut up.
All right, cool. Where there's one point in the beginning where someone delivers a pizza, and the Secret Service guy opens up, looks at it, and it's just kind of like, "It's a pizza." And gives it to her.
What's that,
literally
poison? Nah.
He stares down that pepperoni and decides that, in fact, no, it is not poison, so she can eat it. That's
If it's
nice.
poison, it has a small golden
Right.
tint, so we're fine.
It's from Round Table Pizza, by the way, everyone. That's not a joke. It's
Yeah.
continuing the fairy tale
Yes.
metaphor.
And she
Oh,
enjoyed
no.
that food. I mean, lest we forget all of those scenes where she traipsed down to the kitchen and enjoyed a
Oh,
large
yeah.
slice
The
of Forest
same-
chocolate
Oh,
cake.
Yeah.
she
Forest
sure did.
Whitaker chocolate cake.
Sly.
And by piece, I
Oh,
mean
Whitaker.
a fourth of the cake.
It
fourth
was
of
an
the cake.
enormous
Which was
slice of cake.
awesome. Like,
Oh, yeah,
enjoy
good for you.
yourself.
Yes, but it was the world's largest slice
It
of
was,
cake.
and it was,
Yeah.
16 layers? And she just sat there, skinny Katie Holmes, like,
This is what I do
taking a
every
nibble.
night.
Yeah.
Do I have to finish the whole thing, Dad? You want to be president someday? do you?
cake.
And then he comes down, shares the slice with her, and by share, I mean they each have a bite,
Yeah.
and then they start dancing around the
Alright.
kitchen.
Well, that somewhat leads into, I could say this all, but I'm just going to say it.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me transitioning into my big takeaway.
Uh-huh.
This is a movie for horny people by
There is a lot of innuendo.
by horny people.
Yeah.
Everyone in this movie was so sexually deprived.
Everyone wanted some.
Mia,
Oh, it was-
especially.
Mia.
Everybody.
Should we get into Mia?
If you guys want to,
Finish your thought, and then we'll get
I
into
was just
Mia.
gonna say everybody. The way they look at each other is like they just like they're all. This is so gross and off-brand. They are all constantly edging throughout the whole film.
Oh my god.
It's true, and nobody is edging closer than Mia.
Oh my god!
Samantha
my God.
Mackenzie's roommate.
Every line that comes out of her mouth is like, "Ooh, wow! You see the size of his dick?"
I mean, she looked at the 45-year-old
Security
special
guard.
agent,
Yeah.
and she said something very sexual. And his reply was, and I wrote this down. He said, "You could forget about that," in his most stern
Oh,
tone.
and she wasn't subtle. She was like, the bald one's hot.
Yeah.
I could take him out.
And
no,
let's-
you can't.
Let's be real. He would have taken her into the next room and boned her like the horny 19-year-old she was.
Yeah, exactly.
Because she was DTF. And let's be real, he was
Constantly.
too.
Yeah, but her whole thing was that she had to wait till the 30th to have sex with people, so that's why she was so fucking riled up the whole movie.
Oh my god.
She was like, I'm going to make a bet with myself 30 days. Nothing.
Oh, no.
And this
no.
movie took place on the 19th.
And then when we segued into that college beach party, and she took her cannonball in, and then she got out immediately and gave those fuck you eyes, those fuck me eyes that Nala gives so well.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, my God, this woman has a libido of Joey Tribbiani. And who are we to
did.
stop her?
And of course, this isn't her as a human being, but her as a male written character. She had sex a lot during this film.
I mean, I believe Sam came home the first, if not the second
It was
night.
like, yeah, the
I
first
believe-
night.
And
Yeah.
she was like, give me 3 hours.
Right, yeah.
And that was that.
Yeah.
And she was like, can I just get my no?
No.
But even,
I'm doing
gonna-
it right now.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna
I'm
fuck this
mid-coitus, so you
college
can
boy
wait.
for 3 hours.
even like,
We all know how long
He's going to
those
last, my
college
friends. He is
children
going
last.
to last.
but they were doing everything so that's why. But even like Katie Holmes and the RAs, they have that sort of like question off where he's like, oh no, not a question off, like fact off where he's like, tell me something. I was like, this is porn.
It's
Yes.
This is
Sex. Yes.
Yeah.
deeply sexual.
Prelude to a
Because
sexual
they did
encounter.
it
Yeah.
all night. They were just like, "Oh, let's keep telling each other facts about things."
Yeah.
That was
And then
so
it's the morning, and they're like,
strange.
"Oh, I'm so tired from all the fact giving."
Yeah.
She's smoking a cigarette. It's a lot. Yeah, everyone in this movie was just horned to the gods.
Yeah. Everyone wanted it. And when she was trying to make her ex-FBI agent boyfriend jealous, I mean, she took out all those boys to the honky-tonk, and then she
Oh,
was
yeah.
going to the fairgrounds. And
Which,
she was not holding back.
She used this joke for the FBI agent and for a guy she was using to make the FBI agent jealous, which was, how do you make a Kleenex dance? You put a little boogie in it. Everyone laughed so hard. That's not a funny joke.
No,
Nor is it a joke
I
to bring
certainly
along
didn't laugh.
That's not a first date joke either.
No,
The cops don't like that joke either.
no.
I also just want to say Mia is like a walking like tagline machine. She's just like, she only talks in like
Every
like
sassy
catchphrases,
phrase.
like
Yeah,
sassy
yeah.
catchphrases.
Sits down on the manicure chair. I could get used to this.
Like,
Yeah.
Yes, we know.
Yeah, we-
She also
you can.
introduces herself as royalty of Arkansas. Like, don't you know me? My father's the sofa king.
He sells, what is it, sofas or tires?
I think he's a
Tires.
tire
He's the
king.
tire
he
king.
sells tires to cars.
Even when she's
know.
gonna have sex with that guy, she's like, I'm pursuing a truly higher education.
Oh, my.
yeah.
She just
Oh,
Blanche de Bois
man.
from Streetcar.
She absolutely pulled that.
Blanche tastefully mixed with Lenny from A Vice.
But I did appreciate
Tell me about the rabbits, dog.
I did appreciate when Katie Holmes straight up called her a cunt, a slut.
Hey, remember in that PG movie when the president's daughter called her roommate a cunt?
And it gets so quiet. They don't even have room noise in the background. It's just silence.
I said cunt because my notes said, God, Mia is a cunt. So I confused myself with what Katie Holmes says. I'm so sorry about that. But yes, during their very intense fight, she was like, well, you just keep sleeping around with all these men. And Mia had truly nothing to say.
Mm-hmm. Nothing.
Mia was being unreasonable.
Yeah.
She was.
Like, I don't know. Katie Holmes did nothing but
And
nice
she
to
drew
her.
on the picture of her parents.
Yeah,
That was really mean.
So mean. And it's just because, like, people were interested in the fact that her roommate was the president's daughter. Also, in the case that set her off, he was just like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. This guy that Mia was into.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, nice to meet you, Sam. And then turned to Mia and she was gone. She was like, oh, you wanted to fuck my roommate. And you're like, no, he was being polite to a
He was like,
person standing next to you.
Everything's about you. And I think he was just kind of like, no, I'm just like being nice.
Yeah.
He even said right after she left, he was like, I was supposed to hang out with her.
Does that ever pay off? Does he ever come back?
I don't think so. I think that's a series wrap.
Wow.
No, he was there.
She meets like a military guy at the party. I don't think she meets him again.
No, when she walks back into her room later,
I think that's another.
I
he
thought that was
kicks
a
her
different
out.
guy.
No, it's the same guy.
Well,
They worked things out and then he kicks her out.
I figured, I
Out of
figured
bed?
that could have been a different
No,
guy.
they were kissing and Sam came in and was like, sorry, I'll leave. And she's like,
Oh,
no,
yes, I have to talk to my roommate.
Yeah,
Yes, that's
so you
right.
need to go.
All clothes were on. It was a very PG make-out session.
I don't think anyone took any clothes off in this movie. They just kept
No.
adding clothes.
But
on
Mia kept
themselves.
insinuating that
They all kept insinuating.
Yes.
One thing I didn't love about Samantha in general was that she acted like almost like Tarzan being brought to the new world sometimes,
Right.
where like things really blew her mind. My prime example is putting the candy on the popcorn. She acted like, what?
Yeah, that's the
What?
thing.
I'm like, you're the president's daughter. You haven't been living in a shed. Like, you understand.
Also, you became the president's daughter when you were 13. That's
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
like,
You've been to a movie
somebody's
before.
done that before.
you understand the concept of salty and sweet.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't
Right.
need to
Like-
act like he's doing something insane.
Yeah.
It's an M&M and a popcorn. It's not like yogurt and fungus that they're making. Like, what? She's like, oh, I can't eat this. It's like, yes, you can.
He's not gnawing on the chair being like, it's
Yeah.
good.
It's so yummy. Take a bite.
Good chair.
Yum.
You gotta get used to this if you want to be a normal college kid.
I'm just a lonely hickster, and
Yeah.
I got this chair that I'm on.
So there are a few things like that where I was like, okay, she's a human being living on Earth. She knows what that is.
Yeah.
Also, could they have found a gawkier-looking 13-year-old to play young Katie Holmes?
Right?
She literally was like, guess what? I became a teenager. Flash forward, she's Katie Holmes and not this homely-looking thing. Like, really? It took 3 years?
Glow up.
Yeah.
It was quite a leap.
It was. It was, poor thing.
They actually did the Marvel thing. It actually was Katie Holmes. They just did the Marvel anti-aging computer
sure. Yeah,
science.
yeah,
Yes. No, we saw her in Dawson's Creek. We know what she looked like.
There are a lot of there's light political subtext.
Oh
Have,
boy, so light.
So light. They're just like, his policies are bad. They don't say
Cautionary.
why.
I have
Cautionary.
2 things to say about that. And I'll
Please.
let you finish when.
No, I'm just bringing it up.
Okay. Number one, and this is sort of a general thing. What do you think he was? Do you think he was a Republican or a Democrat? Like, because this is
You know-
obviously Bush era.
Yes.
But it was a movie made by Forest Whitaker, who I think is a liberal, and I think
He's probably a Democrat.
much of Hollywood is liberals. So like,
Well, I mean, I think
because it was so general.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was. I think the fact that there was a large group of college protesters
Right.
telling her how bad her dad was, I'm going to say they were skewing Republican.
Sure.
That's what I was guessing
But
too.
I also appreciated the fact that they never led on to it, because then it would have become something
Yeah.
different than this terrible, wonderful movie.
Yeah. Because that's not what it's about, obviously.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, it would have added like a, what were they trying to say?
Yeah,
with
yeah,
that?
yeah.
I only say Democrat just because, like, I don't know.
Because
Just
they
because
didn't make
it's
it
a
a thing?
Hollywood movie,
Yeah.
so like it just makes me automatically like, oh, like we're on their side, and if we're on their side, they must be a Democrat.
Sure,
in terms
yeah.
of that, two-party dichotomy.
Sure.
So
yeah.
that's why I skew to her. But
Yeah, and I want to know what the protests were about. Like they
Very
kind
vague.
of.
Your dad is bad. Your dad is bad.
But what about him?
Sam, care to comment on the fact that your dad is bad?
No.
She literally turns around and walks away.
She's like, they're exercising their use of free speech.
Well, my favorite was the kid who was like talking shit, and then he's like, "Sam, get up on this stage and have a debate with me."
Yeah.
It's like, fuck you.
Come on, jeez.
She's a person.
Not
Yeah.
a politician.
Yeah. Like, and you want to have a fold like, leave her alone.
Yeah,
I
would
know.
you do that with Malia Obama? You would
Well,
not.
speaking of, it's interesting you bring that up
love
because
that.
I was fascinated and I was like, you know what? I can't imagine that all the presidential children going to college was this much of a big deal. But guess what? It was when our friend Malia Obama went to college.
Oh, I know.
There was
future
I've got
guest.
some-
There was a hoopla.
wish.
And I read an article about her moving in day and about people who were seeing her and they were like, oh my God, Malia Obama is my dorm mate and she's staying 3 rooms down from me. So there was quite a bit of hoopla because when they took the limo from DC to California, which I thought was strange, and then they had, the Royal Guard like let her into college. I was like, this seems a little strange. Did the Bush girls have this when they went to
Right.
University of Austin? Like,
Yeah.
was there this kind of a hoopla? It looks like it was, according to
I mean-
Fox News. This is the article that happened to pop up when I looked
There
it
you
up.
go.
With the Clintons.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Oh, and they even say in the
Something about
the
Clinton.
movie that when Chelsea Clinton went to college,
Yeah.
she had less Secret Service, and they even wore Birkenstocks, like they
I thought that
dressed
was
like
actually-
students.
Yeah.
I thought that was just like a cute line, though. She's like, when Chelsea went, I was like, oh, that kind of like, it's just fun to picture, like, oh, all the president's kids, like,
Yeah.
know each other and, like, have, like, a whatever. I was like, that's a little cute.
Meet cute.
Oh, we
Yeah.
did it. We
That
did
was
it.
We
the-
said
the
it.
film was
We
Meet
said the name today.
I didn't take a lot of notes. I just took notes on like what worked, what didn't, what was unintentionally funny and tried to be funny but wasn't. For what doesn't work, I had Mia. For what tried to be funny but isn't, I wrote Mia. For unintentionally funny, I wrote the soundtrack. The
What a
soundtrack was
weird
so
soundtrack.
silly. I kept laughing so
Yeah,
much.
It was pretty bad.
Every song started with, oh, yeah.
And we know because we had the captions on.
Oh, good.
So it showed little music notes and oh yeah. And what worked? The transitions, Forest Whitaker.
You know what?
Oh, my.
I liked those.
That's what I
Ex-
said. What worked?
Except towards the end of the movie where they did weird, like, blackout cuts with James. But the other transitions were very good.
They were seamless. It would be like it would everything would change behind them.
It would like zoom in on Katie Holmes' face and like flowers in the background, and it's like in her dorm room, and then it would zoom back out, and she was like
In front of other flowers.
in front of other flowers on like a podium. It was same flowers, same her, but different location. It was very.
I
cool.
forgot about that. Like when she made her first entrance and it was gawky 13-year-old Katie Holmes, and then walking out of the announcement room was 18-year-old Katie Holmes, mature in her silk blouse and ready to take on the world.
What was with their hate on what she was wearing?
Yeah.
The whole
Well, it
movie.
was Joan
I mean-
Rivers. That's why.
Yes. I mean, well, that's because we all went to college. At least I am hoping everyone else did this. And I wore a sweatshirt and sweatpants almost every day.
True.
So when I saw Katie Holmes arrive in her gorgeous silk blouse, I was wondering, why are you wearing that to class? I rolled
Are
in
you okay?
with my U Albany hoodie.
It is 8:30 in the morning.
And a dirty pair of sweatpants. No wonder you stuck out like a sore thumb. We didn't all go to Ann Taylor Law before we went to college.
Samantha.
But also, she was made fun of her clothes like most of the movie, and she was never like, maybe I should change.
Right? Like, God, get up.
I don't think
Because
she
she
liked.
didn't-
I don't think
she
she
didn't
liked
change.
those clothes.
No.
I think she was just like, I wear this because I'm professional.
Yeah.
Speaking of being professional, how do we feel about Katie Holmes in this movie?
I don't think so. Anyway,
No.
go on.
Did they exclusively like yell action when she was just getting up from a nap? Because
I'd say so.
And she
I
had
felt like
just
it.
eaten a burrito real fast,
Yeah.
and she was just like, "Oh,
I feel like there are times you're like, oh, Katie Holmes she's almost good in this, and then she just forgets that she's doing a movie, and she turns
that's it." Maybe
into-
she
yeah.
was. Maybe they just did the take. This is the second take, and she was like, all right, they're gonna keep the first take, so I'll just sort of coast on this second take.
Yeah. They're gonna lift me up a bar mitzvah scene in my bathing suit, and I'm just gonna sit here and awkwardly smile until my chump comes down with his gun-looking water gun and scare everyone.
Gun-looking water gun.
And in this day and age, I got very scared when that gun came out because it looks like a gun. Water guns are orange.
They are orange
and not black and
translucent.
metallic.
And he's like, "Come on!" So it's just for context for the listener. They're at a pool party. They're having fun, and one pool boy, a college kid, comes running out with like a black handgun, and Secret Service tackles him and drives her away in the blink of an eye. And he's like, "What? It's a water gun!" As if they're the idiots for thinking it's real,
even though it had like
black.
A trigger guard. And
it was a black weapon. It was not.
It was a full-on AK-47.
I would say
he shot a kid.
I was alarmed. I'm surprised that kid didn't get shot.
So it
was PG.
In college, I was an RA, famously, and
we've seen the news.
As people are still whispering about it. And we had to do like room inspections. So our supervisor would come with us, and we'd go to each person's dorm and look through and just make sure they weren't like having any like fire hazards or anything. So we get to one, and outside of the door is a big square piece of cardboard and like spray paint residue in the outline of a handgun.
Oh.
So someone had clearly been spray painting a handgun black.
Yeah.
So we knock on the door and we start talking to the guy, and we're like, "What's this?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm like a film major and I'm doing something for a scene, so I just like spray paint a handgun." And she was like, "Okay, well, you have to understand that's like a really upsetting thing to see, and you can't do that." She's like, "So if you are gonna do things like that, don't leave that in the front of like the dorm for everyone to see." And he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, but like, what do you think it was?"
Gun. I thought it was a gun.
And we were like,
I thought it was a gun. Actually,
yeah, and we were like we didn't think we had to say it. It was like the thought we're like he'll get it and be like, "Oh, I'm an idiot." We were like, "It looks like a gun," and he's like, "Oh no, oh, okay, I'll throw it out right away." We were like, "Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you very much."
So imagine this kid then was like, "I'm actually using it to play a prank on the president's daughter.
This will be funny.
I'm gonna scare her with this gun." Yeah.
And then he says,
"You
to
do that,
servants,
Mike."
Guys, he's like, what is it?
Why? What did you think this was?
A gun.
Yeah. Chugs, we thought you were carrying a gun.
It's not wild.
Could you imagine going to a bathing suit party in college? What luxury that was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would have had to wear a t-shirt because I'm like borderline albino, but I could imagine that a bathing suit college party would have been fun.
Probably.
We went to the
South.
beach, but I guess that's different. Also, I wasn't invited to a lot of parties, but I went to a beach.
I was just about to say that as a joke, and then you beat me to it, which I can't tell if that's funnier or sad.
I went to college in Philly and Manhattan. You don't want to hop in any bodies of water there.
Those are hot places to go.
Right into the Schuylkill River.
Yeah.
Gross.
She led quite a life, that Sam.
How do we feel about James?
Okay, I wrote that he looks like the lead in old musical theater like show.
Okay.
Yeah, he reminded me, especially because he did this little like, I'm going to demonstrate for you. Give me a moment. It's one of my favorite theater moves. I'll button my pants for this.
She's buttoning her pants.
Oh my.
Where like
this is the audio described version of what she's doing.
Or dramatically, he'd be like.
She's turning, and she turned back
he
dramatically.
Did it a few times where he would talk to her.
Zach's filming.
Let's go.
She's sashaying.
He did. He gave that dramatic kind of exit.
It was like a musical theater lead flair.
He looked like he would play Cinderella's prince in the tour.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like he wears the tights after like rehearsal on the show. Like he's out with them and he's still wearing the tights, and they're like, "Oh, okay."
I just think like any like Rodgers and Hammerstein musical, he would be just like the white male lead, like the ingenue's boy at the end.
Yeah. I mean, he's all of them. He's Curly, Cinderella's prince.
Yes.
He's maybe not Lunta, but it's a story for another day, I guess.
Speaking of a story for another
Where's our
day,
Lunta?
I want to point out, and I'm sorry if anyone else had any other notes on James, How weird was that ending narration? When it was basically, I wrote down just the tiniest gist of it, but it was basically just like, she went off to college and James is in the White House.
Yeah.
And that's another story.
No, it was like, and then she'd come home for spring break, but that's another story. I'm like, is it?
Yeah. I was like,
I think it's the same story.
You would see him in her house, but that's another story.
all right.
I don't want to hear
walked around the bedroom halls, but that's another story.
Another story.
Pretty sure it's the same story, guys.
It is. This is one weird story. So
So that was just a weird ending.
Yeah.
I felt like Forest Whitaker being like, did you forget about me?
Hey, everyone.
no, we unfortunately didn't.
No.
Got one eye over here, one eye over there. I was in vantage point.
I am the Black
I
Panther.
am Zuri.
Yeah, those are 2 movies he was in.
that was too. And Lee Daniels, the butler.
There you go.
Lest we forget.
And
we forget.
The Last King of Scotland, he won an
Yes,
Oscar
that's
for.
right. That's
He
right,
was
Zach.
the
He did.
last king of Scotland.
Yeah.
He was the titular
He
last
was
king of Scotland.
the final king.
Yeah, James McAvoy's in it.
He was the penultimate king.
Well, do we have any major thoughts left on this just glorious film before we sit back and rate it?
The writer, I had her name up a second ago, and I
Her
in my head. Jessica Bendinger.
Oh, a woman.
And Jerry
a
O'Connell.
Woman.
A woman writer.
She wrote Bring It On, Aquamarine.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
She was a writer on the first Sex and the City movie.
Okay, great.
Wow.
All
And
great
she
movies.
wrote and directed Stick It,
Oh, okay.
That was surely was a female angsty movie.
which is a lot of
Yeah.
fun. Missy Peregrine. It's a good movie.
Oh, how
Yeah.
did she go so wrong in this one?
I don't know.
Yeah, whose fault is this?
Although I can't say that any
It
of those
could
other
have
ones
been-
were full winners.
No, true.
Besides maybe Bring It On.
This,
That's like
the
great.
stick of Stick It was pretty awful.
Yeah, I've
Bring
never
It On
read
was
the
good.
script.
Yeah, Bring It On's good.
Jerry O'Connell was the other writer.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
wait.
something. Huh?
Jerry O'Connell also wrote this movie.
Yes.
I think he got a producing
Second
credit too.
Stage's
Am I
son,
right?
Jerry O'Connell.
No, he did not have a producing
yeah, the
credit.
actor Jerry
Oh.
O'Connell.
Oh, I know Jerry
He
O'Connell.
just helped write it.
He is big fans of the box office.
Oh.
And I've never met him, but apparently he just comes in and hangs out in our
Well,
box
you
office.
can tell
Is
him
he
you
like
saw his work.
Is
He's
he on
down
the
to earth.
board or something?
No. He was in a show there once, but I think he just comes back and he's like, "Hey guys, what's up? I'm sweaty Jerry
He
O'Connell."
filled in
Yeah.
for Wendy Williams for a few weeks while she was. I don't know.
He
what happened to
sounds
her.
nice. People say that he's nice. So
It's quite a change.
No, it's interesting that a woman wrote this just because I feel like some of the things not Mia Thompson, I'm sorry, that Samantha Mackenzie found charming by boys would be like weird now. I mean, maybe that's just the way it aged, but like they would make a really bad joke or be like, I want to touch your boobs. And she'd be like, yeah, I love the way you said that about me. That's so nice.
yeah.
Thank you so much for complimenting my breasts. Have at it.
That's so nice of you. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think Sam had many social skills to
No.
really work off
Well,
of.
she grew up in royalty. She's never talked to a man before.
She doesn't know what popcorn is.
Yeah.
Oh, Sam.
Yet she is in touch with her sexuality as
Oh,
is everyone
yes.
else in this movie.
Everyone else.
Everyone's so horny.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that she's the first, not the first daughter of many, because her parents seem like they also want to.
They fornicated like rabbits almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And she also loved the bottle. I mean,
loved
you
the
would
bottle.
you would think she had it once or twice growing up as a young royalty.
I mean, she stuck
first
around
daughter.
that White House all the time.
But I mean, take her to the honky tonk and she'll have 6 shooters and dance on the table, and apparently ruin the family name.
Yes.
she didn't have any cake to absorb everything.
No.
Oh.
She didn't take the Black Forest cake with her, but she did have it at the end. Thank God. Thank God Martha baked another cake. Bless
Martha.
her. She's the most useful White House staff there is.
Wait, imagine in her dorm room, like in her mini fridge, she at the end pulls out the 16-layer cake.
pieces of that cake.
I would, at that point, Mia would be like, I can't fit anything in that fridge. I'd be like, yeah, she should be upset about
I
that.
can't fit my sex beer in this fridge
It's a 16-layer cake.
on account of all this cake.
Oh,
God, God help her.
I wouldn't know which one would be more insane. What was weird is when they pan out at the end, like Katie Holmes drives away. If you look in the corner, you see a writhing pile of naked bodies just going like pythons invading
like her
systems.
concubines.
You can clearly see
sexual
Michael
conquest.
Keaton's face in the center.
Everyone's just free going at it on the White House lawn.
That would have been far more interesting.
Oh,
You have to
Forest
really
Whitaker,
zoom.
you horn dog.
Yeah.
Also, what before we take a break and rate this movie, how old was James? Was he like a teenage
At
Secret
least
Service
36
agent?
years
Do
old.
not know, yeah.
He was 36,
How
I would have
young
to say.
can you be to be a Secret Service agent?
Yeah, it's not like an out of college job, I imagine.
My guess is...
Although, don't forget,
See,
his
I don't
father was also in the Secret Service.
And
And if
his
it weren't for his
grandfather.
father, he would not have had that position.
We're not talking about your father or grandfather.
Oh, yes.
Oh, the guys in his like trial scene were so mean.
Oh, they were angry.
And not even just like angry because he did a bad thing, which is true, but they would be like, so why should you keep your job? And he was like, well, and he'd be like, talk faster.
He'd be like,
We are 4-star generals. We don't have time for this nonsense.
he clearly had like a thing he was building to, and they'd be
Yeah.
like, I don't want to hear about that. Why?
Boo, boo, yuck.
quicker.
Get to the point.
We're too horny to sit here and listen to you, James.
They get up. None of them are wearing pants. They're like, come on, speed it up.
They definitely were not. No.
So if there's no other thoughts on the film, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, and we're going to rate First Daughter. Will it be first success? Only one way to find out. It's
Oh,
the
boo.
meet cute. All right, all you George W. Bush fans, we're back.
We should buy one of his dog paintings.
Oh, bless
You
him.
know what? Okay. I
The meet
would.
cute. Let's invest.
I don't want to support him, but I don't know.
It's
That'd be weird.
nice.
It'd be like a fun, weird thing to own.
It would be.
I want one of his finger
Like
paintings.
if I found it
His
in the,
finger
if I found
painting.
one at the dump, I'd be like, yeah, I'll take this free, dumb thing.
Does he sell them like for
Does he paint
profit,
dogs,
or
or am
is
I
it
making
for
that
like
up?
a charity?
Or does he do real
I
painting?
would imagine he does it for
It
charity.
must be,
I
because he
think
can't be like,
maybe.
yep, a little bit extra in my pocket every month.
I think
need
he has
this.
enough money and he knows
Like
it.
he'll be fine.
Yeah, he's all right.
yeah.
Wait, does he paint dogs, or did I make that up?
I think
Are
part
you
of it's
thinking
right.
of
Maybe
the-
not exclusively.
Are you thinking of that?
No, he
guy
doesn't
who,
paint exclusively dogs. He just paints.
Do you
I don't
remember?
know, what was
do
I
you remember that
thinking
guy who does? It's like the dogs playing poker, but it's Republican presidents.
No.
I used to pass a store in Charleston that had just, I don't know, it was a big picture of, like, it was the dogs playing poker, but they were all Republican presidents. And
Like-
I saw an article about the guy like last year, and I was like, oh yeah. I forgot
What's
about
the joke?
I don't know. I think no. I think the guy was like, "Isn't it cool that they're all hanging out together? Some of them are dead, and I just like imagine they're all having fun together and they're all having pretty fun."
Now, was it all of them at once, or was it like 5 in each picture?
No, I think it was all at once.
Oh my!
It's
Yeah.
a lot of poker.
Yeah, that's
Going
an
poker.
unorganized game.
And what about the founding fathers? Was Washington
I
involved?
was going to
Jefferson?
say, that would include like Lincoln, even though he,
Right? Yeah.
in
Like
today's
what's the,
standards, wouldn't be one,
Yeah.
right? Because everything flipped.
Hmm.
But-
Yeah, you know.
Madison.
political
What was he? A
history.
Federalist? What are the Federalists?
I was-
He's a-
I'm-
He was a Democratic Republican, which so like
Oh.
half of him would be in the
Interesting.
picture.
Interesting.
History's interesting, guys.
Yes.
What were we talking about? First daughter. All right.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the government, how could they all sit by and let this 18-year-old girl get wasted in a bar underage? I don't know about
My friend has hung out with
I was going to
a
say,
certain person.
doesn't Malia drink and get high?
You bet she does.
that.
And
Yes. Well, we've seen pictures.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Oh, I have a
But
guy.
I mean,
who-
like, how does the Secret Service be like? Go ahead?
They
Or the bar in
no,
general?
'Cause
They,
it's like-
she's not allowed to. She sneaks it. But they were out at a bar once, and they ordered drinks, and the Secret Service were like right there, and they were like, "You better get water, Malia Obama," and they had to sneak her the drinks. That or she did coke.
I thought that they would just be kind of like the Queen's Guard. Like in that I thought they would just be like, we don't do anything unless there's a possible attack. So like we don't see anything that's, that's how I imagined it would be.
But aren't they federal employees?
Yes, they're
Don't they have to follow
federal agents.
our federal laws.
Oh,
But
that's a good
I
point.
feel like if like I don't know.
No, I guess that's a good point.
That's like
They have
what
to
I
follow,
imagined.
Like, the rules,
I would
guess.
imagine so, and then especially when the person in question is very drunk to the point where she puts on a little show on top of the table in her cowboy hat and her blonde wig.
Yeah.
That they were like, stay still,
Did-
and then boyfriend James is like, pow pow, take her away.
But he also said,
he
he's like,
hit
guys,
somebody?
we're
He
federal
did.
agents.
Okay,
he indeed
great.
hit her date.
I guess I missed. I guess I blinked.
Oh,
Real
yeah.
quick.
He hit him with his big arm.
This isn't a joke. If you do cocaine recreationally, please stop, because so much of it now is laced with like fentanyl.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that stuff will like kill you
Eat you up.
so quickly. Please just don't do it, because a lot of people will like try it and like one time could kill you because of like people like fucking it up.
Yeah.
Not to be like, it used to be cool. I don't I don't generally condone it because it's not like a great practice.
Yeah.
But I'd say especially now, like, try not to do that.
Yeah.
Or at least don't get cheap cocaine. Buy really nice cocaine from. No, I don't know. I don't want to continue that.
Or like
I
a
don't
gin
wanna
and
continue that.
tonic.
Drink water.
Like, have a glass of wine and like a cigar.
Chardonnay.
In bed by 10.
Just
Yes.
don't
Come on.
do hard drugs for a lot of reasons, but one of them being people make
People,
it
yeah.
people make it super dangerous.
Yeah.
I guess what we're saying is the Meet Cute condones having a glass of something legal and then going to bed immediately.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, wow. That's
Turn
my
on a
idea
new
of a good
Bob's
night.
Burgers.
I condone
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for mentioning that, Edward. We love Bob's Burgers here.
We
Meet
didn't
Cute
need
does
this.
not like cocaine, but we love
We
Bob's
love
Burgers.
Bob's Burgers.
We didn't need this revisionist history where we go straight to bed without watching Bob's Burgers.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Well,
So, yeah, go on.
Just to clarify, I just felt like
well, a lot of this will be edited
none of that was a joke too.
because we've now sold
Guy
out.
Hope.
I don't want to be like, oh, those crazy
Sold out
podcasts.
Because we've now like sold out the first daughter who's just trying to be a normal person and tried giving advice against drugs. So let's move on.
Yeah,
So-
and then I loved when like she did the slip and slide, and the chief of staff called and was like, "You went back with your father," and we were like, "All she did was go down a slip and slide
Yeah,
with
she
water
slid into water and
no,
hay.
no.
She certainly went head first into that bale of hay, where I was concerned that she got a concussion. But
No.
all she did was slip and slide.
No, what she did was she reached up and she was trying to pick herself up by Mia, and she pulled down Mia's pants, and they got a picture of it. And
I
put
missed
on
it,
the front
too.
page of the paper.
Oh,
I remember seeing her doing it and being like, if that doesn't end up being a plot point, that was super weird that we just saw half of her butt via Sam.
Ooh, boy.
I
So that's
did
what-
I
not
missed
see
that
Mia's
part.
ass.
I knew that she like pulled herself up with Mia, but I didn't know that her butt was exposed.
And that's why Mia explained, like,
In this PG
When-
movie, we saw Mia's full ass.
like some of it. And that's why when she meets the president, she goes, they're like, hi. And she's like, the girl in the thong.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
okay.
Yeah, I was confused about that.
She was like, "I'm just so horny. I wanted you to
Just
know
like,
I'm wearing a thong."
right now.
It's me, the thong girl, Mr. President.
It's weird that
Take me in
James
that
said
Oval
that
Office.
too. It's me. I'm the girl in the thong.
So we should rate this.
Let's do that.
Robert, you're the guest. You get to choose what we rate it out of.
Okay.
So, the metric, if you will. So in the past, we've done, 5 smiles, 5 whatever, something related to the movie. What would you like to rate it out of?
I'm going to give it 5 silk blouses.
Ooh,
5
yes.
silk blouses being that you loved it, and 1 silk blouse being that it wasn't the best. So,
Perfect.
Excellent.
So we have 4 categories. The first is chemistry, and that's the chemistry between our 2 romantic leads. Robert, you're the guest. As we famously mentioned, we'll start with you.
okay.
How many blouses does
How many
the
blouses
chemistry
for the-
receive?
And you can do
chemistry.
halves if you need.
Okay.
Yeah, you could just rip the arms off.
Well, I'm going to say really 3, because did we see more than like a slight step above a peck? I don't think we did. There was no tongue. There
No.
was some
Only their
sexual
minds.
glances, but I wouldn't even say there was some like passion. So I'm going to say 3.5 blouses.
Ooh, 3.5.
that's still
That's
a
actually
big
pretty
score.
high.
It is.
Yeah, I was
That's
gonna
okay.
go like 1.5 silk blouses. I did well. Maybe that's a little ungenerous. 2 silk blouses. I'm gonna give it 2 silk blouses.
Mm-hmm.
There was some chemistry, some light flirting, but I wasn't like super convinced. I just kept thinking he was like a Rodgers and Hammerstein musical lead the whole
Yeah.
time. So I don't know. You know, the twist really threw me off. I think his acting got way better once he.
Yeah, it
Was
made more
revealed.
sense
He
that he
grew.
was wooden, I guess. The whole
Yes,
time.
he certainly grew.
Yeah, I'm also gonna give it a 2. It wasn't dismal, but there was nothing really fresh. Didn't love it, and yeah, I thought it picked up I thought it reverse picked up actually because acting got better. But after the twist, I didn't really buy them much as a couple.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
It just kind of fell flat for me. So a 2 overall.
Chemistry between Katie Holmes and James, 1. Chemistry between Michael Keaton and that chocolate cake, 10.
Ooh, yes.
So let's average it out to a nice 1.5.
Yeah. Wow, I was generous on the blouse.
You were generous on the
That's okay.
blouses.
That's
there
okay.
Was some eye
We still got
contact.
some more. Yeah.
The bar is eye contact.
Yeah.
In that case, we have great chemistry, Robert.
The next category is the best friends, which I think in this case would only be Mia.
Yeah, he doesn't have a...
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's usually a bit more even. It's usually more of a pronounced male and female lead, and they both get a best friend. But in this, it's just Mia,
Oh, it's just Mia.
and we've kind of spoken our piece about Mia.
Yeah, I'm gonna give Mia I don't know, half a blouse, a sleeve, if you will,
Which is what she would wear to a party.
a singular button on that silk blouse.
She would wear it to a party and be like, "Sorry, I'm so overdressed."
Yeah, I'm gonna give the friendship a 1 sleeve of a blouse.
Whoa. Yeah, 1 blouse. I mean, no, she was a bad friend.
Terrible friend.
She was a bad friend. She tried so hard to be funny. She wasn't funny. Bad. 1 blouse for Mia.
1.5 for me.
Oh, that was nice.
She
How kind.
really showering it with praise. I don't know. She just was pretty selfish, and even toward the end, guess she was happy for her, but she was also kind of I also got my bag.
Right,
So-
yeah.
I'm
What?
asking you to speak into the mic. You're like,
Oh,
look
I thought it
tall.
was.
No, you were look talk. You were like
okay.
this.
Yeah, so I think she kind of had it out for herself the whole time and wasn't a fun, supportive friend. She just kind of whined. So 1.5.
1. I guess 1.
Mhm.
Everyone's sort of said it all
Yeah.
already. Yeah.
Robert was the least generous, just giving her a button on that
Yeah.
blouse.
She was the worst.
Next up is romance. So this is the actual written romance, different from the chemistry, the romantic gestures and the romantic pull of the film.
I mean, I guess I'll give it 2 blouses because there was certainly a lot of very nice ballroom dancing between the two of them,
True.
Okay.
and there was some twirls. There were some
Twirls,
twirls and
yeah.
some dips.
He was a good
Tips.
dancer.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. For a FBI agent, he certainly pulled out all the stops.
Well, his father was a dancer, and his grandfather
I
was
was
a
a dancer before him. And they just wanted to be on the sidelines of
That's
history
right.
dancing.
Yes. Don't we all want to be on the sidelines of history?
What a weird thing to
Some-
be
some-
so proud of.
Yeah,
I
some
guess.
beautiful dialogue
Yeah.
that we got to witness.
Yeah, it's it's a job.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, that's a sad job description.
Yeah, the sidelines of history. Go make history. That's so sad.
Very sad.
Yeah, the romance. I don't know. It was cute when he kind of took her away, but then it's of course revealed that he's just doing it so that she can have an experience while still being protected. So I'll give it a 2 as well. That feels right. Not the worst.
Now, before I give it my score, what were your theories? Now, did Michael Keaton say, "You go be a Secret Service agent and pretend to fall in love with my daughter"? Was he he knew all that this stuff was happening between them because he saw them dancing together and was like, "This is great." He was like, good."
Yes, you married that secret agent.
I think
Yeah.
the romance part, I think he wasn't expecting. I think he was like, "Oh, you'll infiltrate as a college kid." And I think then when she was like, "Oh, I want to go out and do stuff," I think that he was open about that to the Secret Service and was
Right.
like, "I'll do it so that she thinks she's getting a real experience, but she's not."
It wasn't super clear, though. We all have to theorize.
Because it was never sexual, except for, like, their
Oh, it was
eyes.
always sexual.
Believe you me.
So he wasn't, like, violating any rules in that regard until he fell madly in love with her for whatever reason. Go give
Yeah,
your
but
score.
I guess... I don't know. It wasn't super romantic. Like, yeah, they ballroom danced. There was some tension, but not until his identity was revealed anyway. So that's just anger. I don't know. Give it a silk blouse. Just a single blouse
A single
again.
blouse, yeah.
I'm going to go with a 1.5 again. If only because I liked that scene where they just spent all night saying like facts and also like answering questions about each other. I think that's a nice, I don't know if that's like romance, but that's always like a nice thing to do with somebody, like getting to know them the whole night. Yeah, that's all. I just thought that was sweet.
That was sweet, actually.
And our final category is comedy.
Well, I'm going to give it 3 blouses.
Ooh.
Now, the movie was not funny.
Sure.
The reason I'm giving it 3 blouses was because of a elderly woman who had what I would say was the best line of the film, which was, "Oh, Sam, your bosom came in nicely."
Oh, her! I remember her.
That was good.
Yeah.
So singularly for her, this movie gets 3 blouses.
Oh, no.
Man, even
Imagine
that old
saying that.
woman was horny.
She was horny for her bosom as well.
She was.
She watched her since she was a little girl, a la Maleficent in that terrible Maleficent
I don't know
movie.
whether Michael Keaton was a Republican or a Democrat, but I think we can agree that in his America, no one's allowed to have sex. So they're just all like repressed.
It's a Handmaid's Tale.
700.
some kind of post-apocalyptic apocalyptic
Apocalyptic.
footloose town. You can dance, but you
Footloose
certainly can't
country.
fuck.
Sex loose. Sex loose.
Close. Kick off your Sunday sex.
Put
no
on
sex.
your Sunday pants.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be the song. I'm going to give it a 1. I didn't really laugh very much in
No,
this
it
movie.
was pretty laughless.
Here and there, but I can sometimes give it up for like a sincere attempt at comedy, but I don't know. Were Mia's lines supposed to be funny? Because I was mostly just like, shut up.
Yeah, Mia was
I think
supposed to
they
be
were-
funny.
Yeah. Which is a shame.
Boy, oh boy, she
Cringeworthy,
was
I would
not
say.
funny. All of her little like catchphrases and like poses. All she did was like pose and give a
You know
catchphrase.
who were funny? The Secret Service guys.
I liked that-
The
that-
one who
that-
doesn't talk and the
right.
one who does. They're funny.
You
That
could
was
forget about that.
Thank you, Robert.
Lest we forget.
Thanks. Not John Favreau, but could have been John Favreau.
Michael Chiklis.
That's who if this movie came out like 2 years earlier, it would have been Michael Chiklis.
Yeah.
Man, oh man. Yeah, this was pretty unfunny.
Yeah.
Sorry. 1 silk blouse.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does Christine like this movie or does she
I
hate this
don't
movie?
think she does. I don't think my friend
She's
Christine
crying
likes
while we're reading it. She's like, no, higher.
She's like, this
I
is the
laughed
world's
a lot.
funniest movie. Wait, but also
Covers up her first daughter tattoo. She's like, no. Your bosom.
it. Her Mia banner, she rips down.
I think the first like maybe 15 minutes of the movie, I was like thinking it was going to be My Date with the President's Daughter.
It was very similar.
I had never heard of that until earlier today when I was like, oh, I watched First Daughter. And people were like, you mean My Date with the President's Daughter? And I was like, what's
I
that?
think of the two, probably the superior film.
I love the idea that you got the title that wrong. That they were like, do you mean
Do you mean the other
I know
one?
you're saying First Daughter, but you must mean My
The
Date with the
longer
President's Daughter.
I like, you look at my notebook, it's just all notes from My Date with the President's Daughter. I'm like, yeah, Katie
Will
Holmes was in
Friedle.
this.
The sister was chubby.
Because My Date with the President's Daughter, who is the male lead in that?
Will Friedle from Boy Meets World.
Yes, yeah, I was going to say the Boy Meets World guy, and he's like funny.
Yes.
Who was the president?
Michael Keaton.
It's showtime. Damn it, what was his name? He's also famous. Oh my God, Dabney Coleman. Don't ask me how I remember that.
Don't
Yeah,
ask me who that
famous.
is.
My Date with the President's Daughter.
Oh yeah, My Date with her.
Good song. Good song.
Very good. It was Elizabeth Harnoy was the daughter.
She might be dead.
He's probably dead.
She's not. She's
she
just a
is?
39-year-old woman.
Oh,
Well, good for
better.
Thriving, I hope.
Better off dead, am I?
Oh my God.
Yeah, in terms of Hollywood, she's been dead for about 9 years.
Oh, too old. Too old.
Edward, we're waiting on a rating for comedy. From
Oh,
you.
did Haley not? Okay.
No, I gave it.
Then 1. You know what? No, I'm going to do 1.5 because that's consistent for today. Just 1.5 across the board for me.
But what about the old woman talking
She's-
about her bosom?
That's
the
that
one for me.
That was for me.
0.5 is me remembering the old woman talking
Okay.
about her bosom.
Yes,
So,
that's
yeah.
good.
So we're gonna add these up. You guys can talk amongst yourselves while I do it.
I will. But I just wanted to note that My Date with the President's Daughter was first.
Oh, okay.
1998 was My Date with the President's Daughter.
That sounds right. This felt like it should have been a 1999
But it was
Yeah.
a copy, basically. In My Date with the President's Daughter, the lead is the boy, and he's just like at the mall and sees a girl and doesn't know that it's the first daughter, and
Right.
so it's
because
just
it was
like,
the 90s and you didn't care about
And he
that.
gets arrested
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so he's just like, want a date? And she's like, sure, come by my house and pick me up, and it's the White House.
All right.
Chaos
what's your address?
ensues.
1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Huh, never heard of it.
Gee, wonder what that address is.
How did he get up through the front gate? Did he?
I don't know. I haven't seen this movie apparently since 1998.
All right.
So we've added up the scores, and this film gets 6.625 silk blouses out of 20.
Oh my.
We have a lot of different equations.
3.3125 6 blouses out of 10.
Yikes.
That sounds better.
Or 33.125% of a silk blouse.
On a rotten silk blouse.
That might be just a sleeve.
The film also has 8% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, that pretty much averages out.
Yeah.
People don't
Oh,
love it.
we did better than Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
The people have spoken.
Well, we're generous, so.
We sure are.
I was gonna have a game for us called Thirst Daughter, where I was gonna buy a really weird soda and have you guys try to guess what it was, and I forgot.
Can we do that? Can we do that for another episode?
Yeah.
But it's not. You're still like,
I'll
hey,
think of it.
remember First Daughter? We're going to do First Daughter. I know we're talking about 50 First Dates, but it's Thirst Daughter.
Oh, 50
Yeah.
first dates.
I'll rename it.
So good.
Well, 50 Thirst Dates.
No.
obviously.
No.
Easy. What?
Along came Thirsty.
Oh,
There's a lot of
Yeah.
possibilities.
easy.
I'm out.
You
I'm
tried.
out of them. Princess Thirst Bride. No!
Weird how the podcast now has two hosts.
Out the window. Right out the window. All right.
Robert, you were such a delight. Thank you for
Oh
coming
my
on
God,
to the
Zach,
show.
thank you so
This
much for
was
having me. This is a pleasure.
So fun. We are all so horny now.
Yes, we are. Please have me back.
Yeah, we weren't before.
All right. Well, guys, we did it. Remember to vote.
Robert, what would you like to plug? Where can people find you? This is your time.
Oh, yes.
My stars. Thank
Your
you very
blogs,
much.
your IGs, your
My
Twitters.
blogs. I mean, you can follow me at Twitter _Robert Graham. All I really do is retweet a lot of funny comedians, but you know what? They are fucking funny.
Yes, they
So
are.
I think you will all enjoy that.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
And Facebook at Robert Graham.
Do you still travel blog? Do you still do that?
Thank you so much for asking, Haley. I haven't in a while, but you could follow me at my WordPress blog, which is Take Me to Your Pizza. And fun fact, I will be going to France in just a short month.
Yeah.
There might be some
Tell us
stories.
how French pizza is, because I cannot imagine what their version of pizza is.
It's strange.
No,
I've had it, yes.
I'll look it up on your blog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a flatbread, but you know what? I'm gonna eat the shit out of it when I go there. So
If you guys are not familiar with Robert's work, Robert travels and blogs about it, and it's okay. Why are you fucking siren?
there's more
They're
crime.
like unlocking the police station.
There's a lot of
There's
there's a lot of crime.
I still
happening.
think about when you went to Scotland and you talked about mac and cheese pies.
Oh my!
I remember thinking like, I did not know that was a thing, and I still think about it a lot.
Oh, Zach,
I've had a mac and cheese.
I had 2 a day for the 4 days I was in Scotland.
Good.
It's just a,
I'm
you know,
not
like a meat pie. It was that. Just
Yeah,
take
but
out
with
the meat
mac
and just put mac and cheese in.
Sounds incredible.
And I ate them all, and they were a pound each.
Whoa, that's incredible.
Wow.
It was a special time in my life.
Oh.
It really
A
was.
pound each, or they weighed a pound each.
Both.
Great.
Yeah, Edward, what else could that mean?
God bless the United Kingdom.
Like money.
Oh,
He
cool.
genuinely thought you meant a pound.
No. A pound in British
The Great
currency.
British Pound.
All right, so the podcast does have two hosts now. It's you. I'm out.
Out the window?
Yeah, I'm going back to school.
Anyway, Robert is a very funny writer, so you should go read that because I read them and they make me go hee hee hee.
Wow, thanks, Haley.
You're so welcome. Oh man, all right, we should go. For all of us at the Meet Cute. Oh my goodness, I'm Haley.
I'm Edward.
And I'm President George W. Bush.
Oh, Georgie!
Second President George W. Bush.
Oh no!
And you know what I am?
Yeah.
Horny.
And their dog.
What was the dog's name? Jeb? No, that's brother.
Bye.